Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Bag of Cats. I am your host, Christbearer, the King Little Bell. I was I, and you were you before we became we. And now I gotta ask you a question. What does ASD and UAP have in common? Well, they're both acronyms, and they both mean something that you have to have information to understand. For example, ASD. That means autistic spectrum disorder. I don't know what the actual number is, but I'm going to go with 99% of the global population doesn't really have a clue. UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Again, I'm going to wager that 99% of the global population doesn't actually know that. Why am I talking about this? Well, this is why. Because instead of just saying what it is, autistic spectrum disorder, unidentified aerial phenomenon, we go with acronyms. And that's what the media puts out. And that's where we have a big disconnect, a big loss of information. And that leaves the global population in a state of confusion. And when you're confused, someone can show up, anyone who knows what that really means, and all of a sudden they are in a position of power. They are in a position of authority. They were able to just reach right on into your mind and take control and put themselves in that position that you kind of have to bow down. You have to follow because, yeah, that you make sense. I didn't know. I was confused. I was lost. I'm going to go a little bit deeper on that. So UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, used to be UFO, unidentified flying object. Why did we change that? Oh, I can tell you. Because people understood what UFO meant. Changing it to UAP, all of a sudden, we just did a reset. Everyone is lost and confused. And then there's autism. We know what that means. But if we call it ASD, what are you talking about? Okay, this is called control. This is called how to keep you lost and confused so that way I know what's going on. I have the knowledge. I therefore have the power. UFOs, UAPs, we've known about them for a long time. Why doesn't the United States government do anything about that? ASD, autistic spectrum disorder. We've known about that for a long time now. Again, why doesn't the United States government do anything about that? I have an answer, and it applies to both because they are both tools for control, population control. I can't remember exactly what year this was, but I was living out in the country and I remember this like it was yesterday. It's nighttime. I'm out on the back deck of the house I was in and I'm looking up at, whoa, what is that? It's absolutely silent. it has very weird indicating lights for it compared to what normal aircraft would have. And I just saw it coasting through the sky, flying overhead, and the first thought I had was like, oh, we made a new quiet airplane that we're not talking about. By the way, first ever stealth bomber. Wow, that looked like a piece of alien technology to me. But we announced it. We were all very proud of it. It's like, yeah, we got it. And then we had I don't remember what generation it was, but I'll call it a second generation stealth bomber. Much larger one. Yeah, very alien looking to me. But officially announced by the United States government. So everyone knew it was just an airplane. It was a stealth airplane. That's why it looks different. Okay. So, wow. These are two things I'm trying to tie together as far as misinformation, misdirection, so that way they maintain control. So, talked about the UFO, UAP thing a little bit there. And now I'm going to talk about the autism ASD thing. And they figured out in 2000, it was either 18 or 19, breathing CO2 creates autism. Wow, we all had to wear face masks for almost 2 years because of the pandemic. And no one acknowledged any doctor saying it's like, oh, masks don't work. The virus is way too small. It'll go right through a mask. You will, however, breathe your own CO2 without fail. We went from a 1 in 10,000 autistic diagnosis to 1 in 31. Wow. 1 in 10,000 before the pandemic, and then after the pandemic, after we were all across the globe breathing our own CO2, 1 in 31. Am I the only one seeing this? Am I the only one noticing this? Am I the only one saying anything about this? Yeah, I am. It's a lonely fucking world I live in, but nothing new to me. But it's all about control. It's all about population control. Once you have a global a global population that is now autistic and they have no idea. You have no idea. And with the ASD, which was Asperger's, and then we have autism, then we have spectrum, and I can't remember what the other names or acronyms used for it. I don't think there's really that many. But still, information that is not covered, which I would imagine the United States government, of all the governments on the planet, would be the most equipped, the most funded, the most informed on these subjects, and would, if they didn't have an ulterior motive, disseminate this information freely amongst the people so that way we have knowledge. Knowledge is power. And when you don't get the knowledge, guess what? You don't have any power. And no one knows about autism. You are all hopelessly lost. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not hopelessly lost, but definitely left in the dark to figure it out on your own. Dun, da, 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 here I am trying to tell you this is what's up. And I got 155 subscribers, so thank you for being here. Please share the video. Please get the word out. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe so that way the channel gets some traction. UFOs, UAPs. We changed the name. At least this is what makes sense in my mind. We changed the name because people know what a UFO is. Nobody knows what a UAP is. Cool, we just wiped the slate clean, reset that ability to track what people are talking about. And then there's straight up autism, Asperger's, the spectrum, ASD, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the globe, everyone on the planet had to wear a mask, had to bend the knee so that way they could go see a movie or go be with their loved ones. And it's disgusting. But when you have a completely confused population about who they are, easy to manipulate, easy to dominate, easy to tell what to do. I'm 43 now. I went my whole life until 38 not knowing I was autistic, not knowing I was on the spectrum. And when I try and see a psychologist to like get an official diagnosis, nope. Sorry, we don't do that. Sorry, it's going to take months for us to get you in. Like, really? Okay. So much for healthcare. I've lost all faith in doctors. I've lost all faith in any practice of being a doctor because you guys don't have all the information, or you do and you're hiding it, and that's just wrong. Yeah. This is disgusting what is going on, and it's all about power. It's all about maintaining control. And what are we going to be able to do about this? Well, it's going to take someone like me telling you about this, and then it takes you doing research, figuring it out on your own, because that's how it works, unfortunately, now. With these two specific fields or subjects. Yeah. UAPs, UFOs. Why don't we have any sort of government tracking on this? Well, then we would have someone to be held accountable for finding this information out, verifying it, making sure it can be disseminated amongst all of us and will be accurate. Well, if I'm playing a game and I want to win because it's a game, I want to make sure you don't have any information. I don't want you to have any cards. I don't want you to have any pieces. I don't want you to have a real battle plan. And not giving you information so you can disseminate what is real and what is fake, what is accurate, what is inaccurate. Well, I win. Simply that. I win. And that's what I see. And I challenge anyone to tell me I'm crazy. I challenge anyone to tell me I'm wrong. I challenge all of you to point out that I'm batshit crazy, out of my mind. I couldn't possibly be right about this. I challenge you. I lay my gauntlet down before you and say, I challenge you to a duel of wits. Oh yeah, feels so good. I don't even have a high school diploma, by the way. I am a dropout. I have pursued no higher form of education. I have no credentials. I'm just a human being, just like you. Exactly like you. Human being. But I'm the only human being who's talking about this. I'm the only human being who's bringing this to the table and saying, hey, what's going on with this? Oh, that's right. I got to do the ego attack, the masculinity attack, the femininity attack, and call you ignorant, call you stupid, call you sheeple, people who just go with the flock because it's easier. I promise you, God did not put you here so that way you could be a member of what everyone else is doing. That's not, no, God, you are a member of His flock. I am. We all are. But He gave us intrinsic value, each and every single one of us. I'm the only one who thinks like me. You're the only one who thinks like you. We all are independent. If I was dropped in the middle of the woods without any equipment and I did the exact same thing to you, the goal would be survival. The goal would be food, water, shelter. The goal would be seeing the next day and making the next day easier on myself, yourself, for acquiring food, water, and shelter, for survival. And I challenge you all again. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I am wrong. I'll go into more detail if someone even dares to say I'm wrong. I am very passionate about this because, yeah, I don't have credentials. I am just a child of God. I'm just a human being who is here to share what his life experience has been like with all of you because I care about you, even though I have never met any one of you. I don't know your name. I don't know what you like, what you don't like. I don't care either. I care about you. I care about you as a child of God, just like me. I want you to know what you need to know to be free, to live, to love, to show God that you care about God. He will direct you like He is directing me to make this video right now to tell you all passionately, I do care about you. I want to help you. I want to help everyone as much as I can. So, those are two big subjects: autistic spectrum disorder, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Well, both of them have one solid thing in common. No one's paying attention. No one is paying any fucking attention. And that means, well, ignorance is bliss, right? That's what they say. I disagree. I mean, it is bliss for a while until you realize how much you miss out on, how easily you're manipulated, how much control is exercised over your ignorance. And it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Okay. What happens next? I don't know. You tell me. God, please tell me, show me, guide me. And I think He is guiding me. He has guided me to make this video to disseminate with you the simple truth of these two subjects that have 100% capability to dominate you. Well, holding my phone and then pointing my finger at you, that was rude, but dominating you. So, and yeah, I gotta go back to unidentified aerial phenomena. If I showed a big lighter to a Neanderthal, a caveman, we're talking, like thousands of years ago, caveman, he would think it was magic. Absolutely. I would have it absolutely sold that I possess magic to be able to go, whoa, wow, fire, cool, look at that. You know what a big lighter is? I know what a big lighter is. It is basically a canister that contains butane that when you depress a button in combination with getting the sparks going, produces flame. Not so magical when you have that kind of knowledge now, is it? Anyways, unidentified aerial phenomena, that is our technology that is not, we're not told about it. Are you getting me? There's special programs done by every government on the planet that is all about creating something new that no one has ever seen before. Magic or aliens. It's here to misdirect you. And after what happened with the pandemic, and now we got, like, in the world of 90% of the odds went from 1 in 10,000 autistic people to 1 in 31 right after the freaking pandemic. Yeah. Now we have a lot of very confused people who don't know how their 5 senses work, or 8 if you're paying attention. We have 8 independent senses, and those are already pretty freaking dramatic to deal with. Believe me, I know, because I spent 38 years having severe problems processing that until I found out, oh, I'm on the spectrum. So I gotta make sure I'm calm, I'm at peace, I'm able to process what's going on with my senses. Then I got that all calmed down, and the intellect shows up with a vengeance. I think I've said it before in another video, but yeah, I did one of those IQ. Well, I did a lot of IQ tests because I just didn't believe it. And I like to quote the low number 146. Albert Einstein had 160 IQ. The high I got on one of those tests was 154. So pretty close to Albert Einstein IQ. I know this is one of those very isolating kind of IQs, just like Albert Einstein. Um, when you're that intelligent, when you're able to, in a nanosecond, look at anything and understand it pretty intimately, yeah, you are alone all of the time. You don't have anyone that can identify with you except for those that you have been able to, in a nanosecond, identify as people of the same caliber of intelligence. And I haven't done any research on that, but I imagine at 146, it's pretty tiny of a group on the planet. No, I'm not saying you're stupid. I am not saying that you are. I don't know what to say else, but yeah, I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm not saying you are worthless. I'm saying the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. But I see this world very differently from everyone else I talk to, and I stay away from pretty much everyone. So, 26 minutes, almost 27 minutes. I'm gonna stop at that point. And yeah, I hope you, whoever's watching this, share this video with anyone and everyone. Get the brains thinking. Besides, 1 in 31 people are now autistic. Guess what? We have superpowers. Yes, we do. But no one is supposed to know about that. It's a government secret, just like UAPs. It's technology you are not knowledgeable about. It's the evolution of man or a manipulation of man that breeds some pretty awesome results that are hard to understand. That's all.